I was debating whether I should do a tarot reading because my consciousness, which is already severely fucked up, was getting, badly fucked with last night. And, on top of that, it's just, it's a lot to talk about and a lot to discuss on what's going on spiritually with me. I'm just going to say it. I know for a fact that I got soul swapped, and there's something else I was about to say, but I totally forgot because of my fucked up ass consciousness. Let me try to remember as best as I can, because it is badly fucked up. Severely fucked up. So, I saw a lot of it. Wasn't in last night, and it was in Maria Tavarez and them, like it's been for the past couple of weeks, as well as, I'm just going to say, when you get, I'm not going to even call it energy harvesting because it's a lot more severe than that. Astral body harvested, that's exactly what's happening to me. Happened to Adele. Anybody that gets soul swapped by the Illuminati, that wasn't the case with me. It was two, from what I understand, some evil motherfuckers out there in Malibu who were envious of my spiritual powers and abilities. I got an Ingrid Hybrid or Rasmussen who were envious, who put this shit on me, and then it led to, in that August the 22nd, 2022 timeline, where I got soul swapped, where my body got removed, with them becoming very, very wealthy off of my blessings, just like with Bear Insanity, from what I was shown. Something was done, something got tweaked to enhance what were supposed to be my blessings to make me more of a sacrifice. Bear Insanity, aka Billy Bailey, pretending to side with me yesterday. The motherfuckers are anything but in that original timeline, caping for me. As a matter of fact, I got to work with a chair-faced spirit guide who looks just like this here. Once they got rid of Maria Tavarez, they were planning on putting an entity attachment in me, because your timelines are within you and all of that, of him and his higher self, Don Tolliver, to fuck with me and keep me out that timeline. It all goes back to keeping me out that timeline and keeping me energetically and spiritually, because it was Billy Bailey going back months before who cut me down to my soul consciousness after I gave into a terrible alcohol urge caused by Alex Nascimento, aka Alex Browderman, which is an entity attachment that's, I don't know if it runs hell realms or if it's something that's placed in people that's designed to bring about great things, usually at another person's expense as a sacrifice. I know the Illuminati got one by the name of Illuminati, I think its name is. You can use 694 hertz, 695 hertz to figure out what its name is. But anyways, I had ordinary people who made a deal with this Alex Nascimento entity, Browderman maybe his name is, to set me up as a sacrifice. It was a group of people to set me up as a sacrifice so they can steal all of my stuff and take all of my stuff and keep me stuck in hell realms where, I was told yesterday, even though to me it's a physical body, like I say, ever since August the 22nd, 2022, and with these, people here, May the 1st, 2024, from what I understand, they sicked the dyybuk on me that's connected to Mikey Hernandez's consciousness. I got an ancestral spirit of his by the name of Dan Arcienega, who was a cartel member who supposedly died in 1986. I'm not really sure as to what the story is on that. And what was the other name? Dan Arcienega, saying to be quiet, but Dan Arcienega, he's also connected to the consciousness, I understand, of Ingrid Heiberg or Rasmussen. But anyways, to try to wrap it up, and I'm going to try to keep my consciousness as composed as possible to tell you as much of the truth of what's going on and try not to sound crazy at the same time. It's hard when your consciousness is being fucked with like mine. From what I understand, when your astral body harvested, your spirit body, your soul body, all of that is energetically vulnerable to parasites and to anything wanting to attack you and take from you, literally from your body, in etheric, astral, and spirit planes. And that's exactly what's happening to me. This is evil. One of the curses that Billy Bayek imposed on me in his higher self, Don Tolliver, I actually did an article on it. Sex work. And also in these articles here, from what I understand, one dealing with Ethiopian girls, another one with 3 women. Those were indicating the future soul swap that was to happen. And I also wrote an article about Billy Bayek, he bearing Samity, trying to take me out of my body one night. I'm not a big fan of them, and I have them pretending to want to cape for me in the astral plane. You know, if I speak against them and call them out for what they're doing to me, I'll even have them remove entity attachments of mine that were, because when you're born, before you're born, you have, it's kind of like if you've ever seen, there were Twilight Zone episodes that showed this too, where you look at where you're going to get your memories, where you look at how your body is going to be assembled in the astral plane. It's like the assembly of an android, a robot. We get our memories from, and we're composed by various entity attachments or even roach attachments, which really keeps the art of your body going. There was a guy by the name of I Spy TV years ago who used to show this. Let me see if I could pull him up. I'm talking all over the place and I'm not clear. But anyways, with that being said, you know, I don't want to say crowned by, but I was crowned by Bear Insanity when I was a baby, before I incarnated. And you're given entity attachments by different entities as part of your going through life. And from what I understand, he's the one that set the tone for me to be in all of this. He's trying to get rid of my child spirit guide right now as I talk, because she's been the one that's instrumental in helping me out and showing me exactly what's going on. But anyways, you know, I heard that they put in an entity attachment that's designed to keep them from being seen in the astral plane just now. Billy Baye, Bear Insanity, and Don Tolliver's higher self, and also keep me out that timeline. That involves, there was a guy who, his God, I believe, saw what was going on and, you know, got involved, and they became an entity attachment. Anyways, turned into one. But anyways, with that being said, and they're trying to use that maliciously against me. With that being said, when you're crowned by somebody from when you're a child, I'm just going to say it like this. Billy Baye and his higher self, Don Tolliver, they're like swindlers in the spirit world. They'll go and put an Alex Nacimiento on you to sacrifice you if you have great spiritual abilities and powers by getting you to do something that's negative after fucking up your consciousness and controlling you like a zombie, like you talk about in voodoo here. That's what they did with me. You know, I remember when I was about 16 years old, seeing them put these dark black reptilians on me that were hooded, Illuminati level looking ass reptilians, and coring out my consciousness, removing it, giving it to, you know, girls who I attended high school with, Xavier Prep, and setting me up to be a sacrifice for them, having them all in my timelines after removing my ancestors, you know, so that they couldn't help me. They even set it up to where Billy Bailey, Bear Insanity, even set it up to where he had my ancestors sign the soul contract that they were not to help me out. And that if they were to be placed in the great hell realm. But anyways, you know, trying to articulate myself as best as possible, Billy Baye, aka Bear Insanity, and Don Tolliver took advantage of them crowning me from when I was a child. From what I understand, they didn't like me because I have a lot of light. And set the stage for me to be a sacrifice by putting what they call in the astral plane a shopping cart in your timeline so that you get taken advantage of. And it didn't help that my connection to God was a past life ancestor. I believe my past life father. He was Swedish. But in his next incarnation, he was a racist pastor. It didn't help that he didn't like the fact that I incarnated as a black woman, so I was just under heavy fucking curses from the start. I didn't even get a fucking chance or a shot. And it was Satan that gave me the chance to be on that on them two reality shows, Rock of Love with Bret Michaels and Game Show Networks Without Prejudice. So I give a shout out to Sainton. I have nothing but the utmost respect for him, and I'm going to say this right now, Santa Muerte as well, because she was the one that was carrying me all throughout this motherfucking curse. If it wasn't for her, I would not be alive. Them deputies, Hispanic deputies, wouldn't have been able to help me out, or wouldn't have helped me out if it was up to them. It was Billy Bailey, Bear Insanity, when I was trying to get back in my body not that long ago, from August the 22nd, 2022. I saw him blocking me from my timelines, blocking me from getting back in my body. I believe in giving props where they're due. And all throughout this, Don Tolliver and Billy Bailey were trying to make out, the Mexicans who've been the ones instrumental in helping me out. They were even putting entity attachments on me through Alex Nacimiento after placing my body in a blender in the astral plane. When they saw myself not only assembling myself back together, but also saw my father and my ancestors coming together to not only put me back together, but to remove their entity attachment, Alex Nacimiento or Alex Browderman, that was instrumental in keeping me out that timeline. And I'm going to continue to say it as well. But anyways, they started putting entity attachments to make me hate them people because they were helping me out. And they saw that, they saw them being a block to their plans to keep me down. This is why I keep saying Don Tolliver's name. I don't give a fuck how he feels in the astral plane. He's going to try to take entity attachments of his. They put me in the bird and try to remove them, but he doesn't have any right to do that. As well as Billy Bailey, because that's God-given. You can't fuck with that. That's not yours. That's mine. That's what makes me me. You remove that, you can kill somebody. You can kill me. You can't do that. So anyways, they were the ones trying to, orchestrate a plan to block me from getting any spiritual support by getting me to hate them people, because them people are a tour de force in the spirit plane. I'm going to say this right now. We talk about the pyramids, the Aztec pyramids and all of that. Them motherfuckers know how to put your body back together. And they didn't want me to get any help, so they wanted me to turn against the help. And they were trying to, through a conspiracy with that Maria Tavarez, Tavarez motherfucker, getting me to go against them. And I refused. I believe in being very sane-minded, very level-headed. Every time I would try to see what was going on with, that place that I went to at 8704 Broadway, every time I would try to see it from a very level-headed perspective, I would constantly get fucked with by that Maria Tavarez motherfucker. When I would try to just get like an open-minded perspective within me, I would get tormented within, and and it was designed to block me from seeing exactly what's going on and giving a fair-minded or getting myself a fair-minded, objective, opinion on what's going on, perspective. That's the word I'm trying to conjure up and look for. With that being said, like I said, something happened on May the 1st, 2024. I saw Mikey Hernandez, his higher self, his Raziel. I think his name is Elizondo Salazar, but I could be wrong. I don't know what his original Elizondo Salazar is. His original Raziel's name is. I saw his God, Archangel Michael. But I know that it goes back to that August 22nd, 2022 timeline and a May the 1st, 2024 timeline where, like I said, I know I'm sounding crazy, but where from what I understand, I remember seeing Alex Nacimiento after my ancestors were in the process of kicking him out, bring him in. They had a dyybuk that they brought in, which is a very dangerous entity. You can call on Jewish rabbis. My great-great-grandmother was an Ashkenazi Jew. Her last name was Stein. And she even looks like me and got the same demeanor and all of that. Jewish genes are very, very strong for some strange reason. They always proselytize about how black genes are very strong. But anyways, rabbis are very good at getting rid of that. But, in the astral plane, they saw it being connected to Raziel. So I don't know what's going on. But anyways, You can get Jewish rabbis to get rid of that, and maybe even Islamic sharifs. So with that being said, they brought him in, and he was a very vicious, violent spirit entity that hates blacks, was giving me a hard time. From what I understand, the spirit plane was going around like Alex Nascimento, giving black people in South Central, where I lived, a hard time and all of that, and trying to invade their bodies and fuck them up and fuck with them, woo, woo, woo. It was a lot of evil shit going on. So with that being said, from what I understand, let me try to get an objective, give an objective on what's going on. Mikey Hernandez, from that August the 22nd, 2022 timeline, like I said, I have reason to believe that I got soul swapped, because the night before when I was running in the manor here, and from what I understand, my whole soul consciousness is still there. Maria Tavarez tried to remove it yesterday, used 694 hertz, 695 hertz to see. When I was running in the park adjacent to it that night on August 21st, 2022, from what I understand, I felt somebody right behind me slap the timelines of somebody else on my body. The ancestral timelines, which is like a the embarkation area for your ancestors and for your family and so forth to get into your energy body in the astral plane. And I felt Destrehan, Louisiana. And before that, through my third eye, I even saw the day after my whole soul hanging out. Something going on with it. I saw it looked like a piece of tissue there, something hanging out, something connecting me to my whole soul. Still sticking out. And they're going to try to fuck with it to keep me back. Like I say, there's nothing but evil shit working against me. And the only pure thing I got working for me are them roach spirits, along with that child spirit guide. A chair-faced child that's connected to my child consciousness, which my higher selves and all of that, maybe through influence through Billy Bailey, Baron Samedi, and Maria Tavarez, made herself my higher self, are the only ones that's trying to help me get back to that timeline. And they try to do it as much as possible, even working against their nature. And from what I understand, my higher selves were even getting paid at one point to look the other way. That's how insidious this is. But I saw a discussion taking place between these spirits here I saw a discussion taking place between the young lady, who I understand got placed in the Roach Realm Bomb, and, later on she put a severe alcohol curse on my family, took my mom and dad here out their body. Williams Jr. had my brother killed, Kristen Williams, in that timeline. He was a firefighter for the New Orleans firefighter department. He was a a firefighter, had him sacrificed, drawn overboard off of a ship after she joined the Illuminati, after soul swapping me, by Prince Andrew or Prince Philip, one of them, or Prince William. I kept hearing that Princess Diana, and I saw it too, was in my timelines trying to swallow my soul consciousness as a sacrifice to keep me from going after a son. These motherfuckers here. As a physical sacrifice, and I heard that the Rothschild sacrificed my brother Kristen in the astral planes. A lot of fucked up shit. But anyways, that's what happens usually when somebody gets soul swapped. They demean the person, the original person's body, with the soul swap motherfucker in it, as a ritual, and also, do something where they get rid of anybody that's connected to the original person's body. Like in that timeline, from what I understand, she wasn't helping out my parents, but she still helps out her parents in Destrehan, Louisiana. And an entity attachment that's attached to my parents from that timeline kept telling me her name is Ashley Terrell. But anyways, I kept getting signs that something happened. There was a level-headed shopkeeper at a liquor store on Pico Boulevard. Let me see where it's there, which I used to go to all the time, where he said that he heard somebody who sounded just like me, but through static. I remember, seeing, like for a split second, spaceship for the Ray Zeta Reticuli, that's supposed to be her ancestral spaceship associated with her. We're all in the astral plane connected to spaceships that sometimes are composed of our higher to higher selves, spirit guides, angelic forces, ancestors, even down to reptilians. We're all related to that. Depending on the person's whatchamacallit. Mine's is the Heru, along with the Nubians.
Okay, but if there are craft, there are beings.
Okay, people have asked me about, I call them vehicles, okay?
Right.
Now, I did not call them objects. That was too neuter for me.
Okay.
I had a Stanford professor said you ought to call them objects, Norm. No. They have all of the qualities of a vehicle. Mm-hmm. They can move. They're just like a missile or anything like that. So that much we can say about them, for sure.
Okay.
So I'm calling it a vehicle.
Okay.
Okay, somebody comes along and says, well, now where would you manufacture one that's 2.5 Earth lengths long? And that's a hard question to answer.
So are you not positing the idea that those vehicles contain, beings who are, maybe like us?
Yeah, I only go along with government images. And if you want to know about people kind of thing, there is the ship that picked up the Voyager capsule at Alameda Naval Shipyard, and they have a picture there of I think it's the Apollo flight that Buzz and Neil were on. But anyway, there is one image there that shows black people getting off.
So people with dark skin getting off.
Not dark, black.
Black skin.
Really black. Yeah.
Were they tall?
Yes.
Very tall?
Yeah.
How tall? Do you know?
Well, they got out the doorway. I don't know how high that is, but
Well, what?
it's safe. 7 feet would be probably a conservative estimate.
Have you heard about Clark McClellan's statement about that?
No.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Have you ever been in touch with him?
No.
No?
There is one image there that shows black people getting off.
So people with dark skin getting off.
Not dark, black.
Black skin.
Really black. Yeah.
Were they tall?
Yes.
Very tall?
Yeah.
How tall? Do you know?
Well, they got out the doorway. I don't know how high that is, but
Well, what?
it's safe. 7 feet would be probably a conservative estimate.
I've seen in the astral plane. So to make a long story short, I remember also seeing this past life ancestor. I really want to say his name. Gentleman is his name. And he put, because my consciousness is all out and out, I got this evil ass shit within and externally listening. And they're starting to, fuck with things. Anyways, with that being said, I remember seeing a fuzzy-haired, Don Imus looking motherfucker like this here. Let me continue because I thought I was talking. I thought the video was on. But anyways, I remember seeing a curly-haired, Don Imus looking motherfucker chauffeur a young white girl into my timelines, which starts off as the PCH, but there's in the highest third dimension, and there's different parts of the third dimension. You got the higher, you got the lower, the lowest, and those are like hell realms when you're taken out of your body. Like I say, after August 22nd, 2022, and after a while I got placed in the roach realm, which is within all of our bodies. That's kind of like the back room area, the janitorial area where you get put together and all of that, where I can be divested of all my shit. And all of my shit's been going to, and I felt her soul consciousness and everything. When trying to get back in, had it placed in my body, it's red. It's red energy signature. And Maria Tavarez tried to remove mine's and replace it with hers. I don't want to sit there because it's got shit on it. But anyways, with that being said, I got chauffeured across state lines. Okay, not chauffeured. I didn't. But this person got placed in my body after being chauffeured into my timelines, which is the entryway into your body. And he's trying to, this motherfucker, Tandemann's trying to fuck with that child spirit guide as I talk. Maria Tavarez. Yeah, it's Maria Tavarez.